If there's one game I'm more excited about than any others right now, it's Metroid Prime 4, which is admittedly a huge bummer when there isn't anything for it at E3. But even though we didn't get anything else about it at the show, it is still exciting to know it's coming. And what makes me even more excited than the mere fact that it's coming is that there are so many more possibilities for the series now than when the last Metroid Prime came out. With the extra power and a decade's worth of new ideas, this new Metroid Prime game will probably be really, really good. Wait a second, Redkwan, didn't you say that Metroid Prime 4 would be weird and bad and be too open and all that stuff? No! No, I didn't. You must be thinking of someone else. Hello, all 358 of you, I'm Redkwan, and this is Going Back on Your why Metroid Prime 4 will be the best Metroid ever. So Metroid Prime games are all about the exploration, the isolation, and the progression of getting new abilities and items over the course of a game. Redkwan, didn't you say that that wasn't a guarantee in your— No! And stop bringing that up. And each of these things are set up in a way that could make them better in this new game. I'll start with the exploration. Exploration in Metroid Prime 4 can likely be greatly expanded in comparison to what it's been in the past. I don't just mean bigger environments that would be able to exist, but the whole basis of the exploration could be expanded. It would be possible to have many different areas, and even have extensive travel between planets. I've heard mixed reactions to travel between planets, and I get that that might mean that it wouldn't have as extensive of environments in each individual location, but I don't know, it sounds cool to me. The Metroid Prime games looked good for their times, but if we're being honest, they don't have the highest resolution environments out there. And I'm not at all one of those people who says that performance is what makes a game. I would play a game at 144p 10 FPS if I saved a few dollars on it. Actually, that might just mean that I'm real cheap. But the thing with Metroid is, the exploring of environments is very key, and having amazing environments can add something to the experience, and better texture and such can allow for more puzzles and secret possibilities, with little hidden things. So with more power on the system, more environments and better environments are possible, and there are new possibilities in secret areas and interplanetary travel that could happen on the Switch, which have the potential to improve the game over the past iterations. Isolation also has the potential to be better in Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime games are all about the feeling of isolation, and being alone on a world that wants you dead. You know, I always thought that was called my life. No, I'm just kidding. My life isn't nearly as fun as Metroid. Isolation in Metroid Prime 4 can improve for a lot of the same reasons as exploration can. With more power, the areas can be made to feel more empty and deserted, and more extensive areas will only add to the feeling of a large, abandoned civilization. And when it's really all about achieving that feeling, the appearance of a game really can make a big difference. But there are other reasons why isolation can be improved too. For one, you could just jump right back into the game instead of going through the whole menu thing, which can add quite a bit to the immersion, and therefore help build that feeling of isolation. Wow, Redkwan's really grasping at straws here. Maybe I am, but I think with all the technological improvements, and maybe the resume game feature, I don't really know, Metroid Prime 4 will improve its level of isolation, which is such an integral part of the experience. And then there's the progression. The way you get better as you play Metroid is through the multitude of items you gather on the way. And while it seems like having a more powerful system, or Joy-Cons or whatever, wouldn't really change anything here, it does actually open up some interesting possibilities. People have talked about how much time and effort went into the Breath of the Wild physics engine and world and such, and because of all that work, they should pull a Majora's Mask-like sequel. But I think Metroid Prime would be a terrific opportunity to reuse some of the physics from Breath of the Wild. In a lot of ways, Zelda and Metroid are pretty similar, so I think the transition would be pretty easy. And the possibilities for what they could do with it are pretty open. Some things like magnesis or stasis might be cool attachments, and if they got a little more creative, they could use them to implement things different from what was in Zelda using the same techniques. It's certainly far from a guarantee that this will happen, but even if they don't, some of the improved physics and additional power could really add to the types of items that could be used. And besides the main staples of the series, there are other more general aspects that will probably make this game really good. For one, it's been forever since the last Metroid Prime, so the ideas about things they could do have likely really built up over time, leading to some very creative and cool new concepts at a higher number than in the past. And the controls will probably be a real improvement. The controls on the GameCube games were not the greatest if we're being honest, and the Wii Remote does have good precision, but a lot of people still find it pretty annoying to use. So having two sticks, along with maybe some gyro abilities, would be a nicer way to play. So really, I think just about every aspect of the game has the potential to improve, and given how excited people are for this game and how long they've had to consider ideas, I think Metroid Prime 4 will be the best Metroid ever. Well, I'm Redkwan. What do you think about Metroid Prime 4? Will it really be the best, or do I have no idea what I'm talking about? Maybe both. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.